Don't ask me why I tend to enjoy Sam Rockwell playing Sam Rockwell. I don't know why. This is a pointless movie for the most part. It does contain a lot of lesser magic. It contains a lot of propaganda, which is also, lesser magic cuts both ways, but it all comes down to if you have eyes to see and you use the brain between your ears to think. I might parallel this with something else. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. This is a bullshit movie that does not have an ending. There is no fucking point. Technically, the plot makes no goddamn sense. And there is an event 3/4 of the way through the film that should pull anybody out of the film. And yet, I imagine most, brain-dead audiences, and this is an assumption on my part, probably just kept digesting the latest whatever. I don't know where that accent came from. What was the other bit that I was going to rattle off in here? I had it. Oh. So it starts out with a monologue, which is full of lesser magic. And I enjoyed the monologue, the initial rant. It's pretty good. But the moment, spoilers, there's flashbacks to a number of the characters that end up, tagging along, his plucky characters. And every single time there's a fucking flashback, for the most part, it pulls you completely out of the movie. And these are also, they should be red flags. What takes place in the flashbacks doesn't jive with what you're supposedly being shown. In other words, it's so poorly fucking written that you realize that it's an AI-generated fucking boot loop. As this will tell you. There's no mystery there. Which means there's no stakes. There's no point. The protagonist is running around urging you to fucking do things, and there's no point whatsoever. Now, our masters are laughing at us. I highlighted this in another video that nobody will probably ever watch. If you're familiar with the cake is a lie expression, things like that are left in this film to tell you that it's pointless shit. And what you're doing is pointless shit, because if you apply what our masters are up to, they're laughing at us. And you apply what they're telling you to your life. No, we don't live in a fucking simulation. No, this is not an AI-generated hell. Yet. But that's going to go over a lot of people's heads because they were spoon-fed simulation theory, the multiverse of adult fairy tales, holographic nonsense, atomism, quantum theory, and there are more examples, mind you. The New Age garbage is in place to pave the way for a one-world religion, and it ties right into this. Because all of those aforementioned bullet points are in place to do what? Pave the way for a one-world religion. Convince you to believe in reality being something that it's not. And today you have people doing just that. Talking about NPCs or, it's a simulation, man. But Tartaria was real. Even though that dates to 2016 and has nothing to do with Tartary, just to be clear. And if you see a image of a bell and then you say Tartaria was real, that's a spurious correlation, internet baby. This movie is garbage. That's the point. And a lot of people will probably like it. By extension, this functions as subliminal imagery and a number of other things. This is reinforcing narratives in place to subjugate the masses. This film is propaganda. And most people aren't going to take that away from this film because they do not have eyes to see, because they're not using the brain between their ears to think.